hanging out in the Batcave the other day.
Yeah, you know, I was also in the Batcave.
Yeah.
I was
Poison
not.
Ivy
I was
came
on top
by.
of a couple buildings.
Shit.
And she was like, I brought some sugar.
Oh, yeah, right. Like, you know what this sugar is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's glucose. She wanted to do some photosynthesis.
Yeah, actually, that is what she wanted. It was like,
Oh, that's actually kind of disappointing.
I know, it was,
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Batman. Fine, I'm Ben.
Right.
That's more like it.
Anyway, happy birthday, Batman. We're like 2 weeks late to your birthday, but you're not real, so it doesn't
But it's your
freaking
birthday
matter.
when
It's not like you
filming
weren't
it,
having
though,
a
right?
party.
Nope, we're still a week late.
Still late?
There wasn't a bat cake.
Yeah, no, I didn't get an invitation.
I didn't get no.
But we thought,
I didn't get shit.
you know, in honor of Batman, we've done a lot of Bat titles, so I thought,
Yeah.
like, maybe we should mix it up. We'll still do a seminal moment in DC's history, but it'll still be very Bat-centric, so it'll be
Okay.
kind of like in the spirit of Batman.
And that's why we've chosen Final Crisis.
What is that? What do you got there?
It's Final Crisis. DC's...
Get that out of here. I'm not doing that. Get out of my house. I don't want to see that again.
I'm sorry, it's just...
What are we actually doing, Sal?
We're doing Flashpoint. It also sucks.
I turned to a page in Final Crisis. I saw Vampire Batman. I'm sorry, Vampire Superman.
Was that even... It's not even Superman. It's Vampire Ultraman.
What?
It's an alternate reality Superman that's evil. So, let's not go there.
Alright.
Let's instead go to a world pre-New 52, but just before the New 52. This is the main DC event that catalyzed the New 52.
Can you guys see that for a second?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, F that.
yeah.
Damn it.
Fine, let's do this free comic here.
There you go. Talk about your stupid book.
Thank you. This is actually kind of a fun story, and I do rag on DC a lot, but there's some fun stuff in here.
Is he throwing his blood off of his body?
No, that's his
That's his
suit.
suit. His
He's
suit's
running
getting
so
torn to
fast,
shreds.
he's blasting his clothes off.
He's running
his body.
faster than he ever
That
ran
sounds like a
before.
porn situation where the Flash is just like, I gotta get ready for this chick. Woo! And then he's naked.
Maybe. No,
I'm
this
sure
guy's
he's
good.
done that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I imagine he could just take his clothes off really fast.
Yeah, you would.
I
That's
also
actually-
imagine he could take her clothes off really fast.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's probably more in tune with that idea.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What if he likes it slow? What if
Probably
it's a
does.
weird idiosyncrasy with the Flash?
where he's like has a slow fetish?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, you know. The rumor had it that this was just going to be a Flash story. Just
Okay.
a cool, time-traveling Flash story. And then DC went, ooh, you know what we could do? We could reboot everything. Because he goes back in time and changes everything. So they did it. So they shoehorned it in.
Wait a minute. Doesn't
wasn't
he go
even-
back in time all the time in these
Yeah,
books, though?
but this wasn't even a crisis.
It wasn't even a crisis.
So
and he
why
did it.
did this time, when he goes back in time, it resets everything, but previous times it's
Because
just...
editorial wanted it to happen that time. So the story of Flashpoint starts off with Barry Allen, a.k.a. the Flash, the original Flash. The guy who died in Crisis, but it turns out he didn't actually die.
Not Final Crisis.
No, he actually came back in Final Crisis.
What did he do in Infinite Crisis?
He didn't do anything. He was dead in Infinite Crisis.
See. Except he wasn't.
It's written by Jeff Johns, who wrote Justice League Origin,
Right.
Okay.
Which I was a fan of.
and a bunch of other things that I actually kind of dug. Andy Kubert drew it, of the famed Kubert family.
Yeah. Kubert Art School.
Run the school, yeah, in Dover, like right next door to my house.
Oh.
Does he have a ring?
Yeah.
Is that what gives him his power?
No. No, he just keeps his suit in the ring.
Flash
What?
keeps his suit in the ring?
Yeah.
How is that?
How does it fit?
So Flashpoint begins with Barry Allen running into his mom. And the reason why that's a surprise is because Barry Allen's mom has been dead since Barry Allen became the Flash.
I was gonna say, whenever anyone runs into any parent and it's a surprise, it's because they're dead.
Yeah.
Or they're crippled,
Or they came back to life.
Right.
And in this case, Barry Allen's mom is alive. So he's just really excited his mom's alive. But he doesn't really think about the fact that, like, his mom's alive and everything's fucked. Anyway, the idea is, like, alright, you know what? Going chronologically doesn't work. Flashpoint is about the idea that Barry Allen, aka the Flash, part of his origin is his mom died. His mom was murdered and they never solved the case. Part of the reason why he became a medical examiner is because he felt like he could not really solve that mystery, and so he tries to solve other unsolved murder cases.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. One day he bumps into his mom, and the world is different. And he's like, "You don't understand, like, Mom, like, I'm a superhero." And she's like, "You mean like Batman?" And he's like, "Oh, Batman's real? Like, okay, cool. I'm friends with Batman." And he tries to run, and he can't. Like, he can run like a regular guy. He trips. He's expecting to run like supersonic speeds, and he just trips because he's a regular guy.
Okay.
He's not the Flash anymore.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he just wakes up one day,
and he's not the Flash.
and he still thinks he's the
Remember
Flash.
Well,
anything being different?
no, he remembers the DC universe the way it should be,
Okay.
but everything's different. He doesn't know why.
Why
he
did he
do it?
question Batman being real? He
Well,
knows Batman's
because when he knows that his mom is alive,
real. He's like...
and he's like, "I'm the Flash," and she's like,
Right.
"What's a Flash?
Right.
Like, what does that even mean?" He's like, "Superman." She's like, "Who's Superman?"
Oh.
She's like, "Are you talking about Batman?" And he's like, "Wait, Batman's real, but Superman isn't?"
Oh, now I
That
gotcha.
doesn't make any sense.
Is it that there's no superpowers in this universe?
No, no, there are plenty of superpowers.
Well, because that would make sense, because Batman
Yes.
doesn't need superpowers.
Exactly. That'd
But
be
then
kinda
there would
cool.
just be Batman.
Well, that's kind of how DC is
like Green
anyway. Green Arrow doesn't really appear in this book. So, because who gives a shit? Because the story was kind of conceived of like a fun, neat time travel Flash story.
Okay.
It wasn't supposed to be a universe-changing, we have to figure out how everything goes.
Right.
That's why the New 52 is kind of fucked up, because they kind of shoehorned in the New 52 retcon into this seemingly innocuous Flash story.
Oh, interesting.
Batman is a murderer and older than than the Batman he knows.
Dark Knight Returns Batman?
Kind of, yeah. In Gotham, the Waynes run everything, and you know,
Kind of
there's
like they do now.
yeah, but it's a little bit more like seedy,
Like
They're more
mobster.
like-
yeah, like more mobby, and
Like it's the family.
Yeah, like political
yeah,
and stuff.
and there's like a lot of there's a huge casino in town, and that's like the source of the income for Gotham.
And Bruce Wayne's parents didn't die either, and the whole premise of this universe is that nobody's parents died.
Actually,
If you're a child, you're not, and you don't have a kid.
Nobody wanted-
be able to stop people from dying.
no. Barry Allen's mom died, and that's what made the Flash. At some
I'm
point,
sorry, how did that make the Flash?
Well,
Like, he became a forensic
It
examiner.
gave him the motivation to go to become a
And then he
medical
stumbles
examiner.
into the-
He stumbles into the chemicals. He gets struck by lightning and becomes the Flash. The idea is that the Flash, Barry Allen becomes the Flash because he's dealing with chemicals he didn't understand, and a lightning bolt hit him, and he fell into the chemicals, and he became the Flash.
Okay.
Fastest man alive. And in fact, it was kind of like the idea that like this lightning bolt gave him access to the Speed Force, and it's this cosmic element that he
Right,
could
it
tap
wasn't
into.
just an ordinary
It
lightning
wasn't any
It's
ordinary.
an amazing coincidence.
I mean, no, it
magic
wasn't-
lightning bolt and this.
It was a regular lightning bolt. It just
Oh.
it also with the chemicals and the fact that it was Barry Allen, it kind of like chicken and the egg created this situation where the Flash exists. Anyway, doesn't matter. The origin of the Flash is like this guy can run.
right.
Oh, and it was created in like the 40s, so like nobody's taking the time trying to figure it out,
Yeah,
even in
yeah.
any way
Doesn't
scientifically.
matter, yeah.
He was dealing with chemicals. It wasn't even radioactivity; it was chemicals. So the idea is that one day Barry Allen says, "You know what? I miss my mom. This is bullshit." So he uses the cosmic treadmill, which is a treadmill that
It's an actual treadmill.
it's a real treadmill.
It's a treadmill.
Like a real
for
like,
someone to
like
run on something.
exercise
like
on.
a
Yep,
moving
Belt.
Right.
belt. It's got the little arms. It's got the
Yep.
little screen.
But there's no screen, and the idea is because it's an older treadmill, and the idea is that
Is
like
it motorized?
The universe created a treadmill,
Well, there's-
just like the ones made in like 1960s America.
yeah,
And never before.
well yeah, and like he uses it to go back in time
How?
because the cosmic treadmill can like amplify his speed.
I saw it.
I think he just
I saw
runs-
him running
yeah.
on a thing.
Yeah, he
which
runs
can
on the-
only be what you're describing.
The treadmill, yeah. He used
there it is.
Yeah, he used the cosmic treadmill to go through time, and it's one of the things that like Barry Allen really shouldn't be doing. You don't like he can go through time, but he normally uses the treadmill and his speed in conjunction to rift through dimensions. Like he uses it in the Avengers JLA crossover to go to the Marvel universe.
Okay.
And it's funny because when he gets to the Marvel universe, like there's no Speed Force, so he can't run really fast.
He just can't run at all.
He can run like a regular person. He's like, whoa, like I'm slow.
So, the cosmic treadmill is just a thing that they use when they want something that they've never done before to
Yep.
happen.
Or they use it in order for him to do things that he doesn't normally do. Like if he so he can have access to like magic powers.
I see.
So anyway, he uses the cosmic
You can
treadmill.
only turn invisible if you run on the cosmic treadmill.
Yeah.
You can only make the best Subway sandwich ever if you
If you run on the cosmic treadmill. So he uses it to go back in time and prevent his mother's death.
Okay.
But as a result, he winds up preventing himself from becoming the Flash.
Okay, that makes sense.
Accidentally, yeah.
And one of the Flash's nemesis, Eobard Thawne, aka Reverse Flash.
I'm sorry. Who?
Eobard Thawne. It's a name...
Thong?
Thawne.
Thawne.
Thawne. It's the name of a guy from the far future.
Oh, okay.
The idea is that the Flash inspires this dude in the future to become the Flash in his time. So he creates the circumstances to become the Flash of his future time.
Right.
And he winds up going back in time to the present to hang out with the Flash, because the Flash is so cool. And the Flash makes him feel bad, so he becomes a supervillain. And what turns out is Eobard Thawne goes back in time and kills Barry Allen's mother, creating the Flash, and in effect creating himself.
So it's a causality loop that
Yes.
should never exist in the first place.
Right.
Because there was never a reason for...
Barry Allen to become a forensic analyst and become the Flash.
Unless that had already happened and
Right,
you met.
right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
It's like a Terminator.
Yeah,
You know,
like when he
gets
needs to
back
become his
his-
father.
Yeah.
So Thawne, in effect, becomes his own, like, creator.
Yeah.
Interesting. But and his hook is he can torment the Flash, he can give Flash a hard time, but he can't kill the Flash, because if he does,
Right.
then the Flash will never inspire him in the future to become...
he'll cease to exist.
And he'll cease to exist. Or he'll cease to
Or
be...
he'll just be a dude.
Yeah, or he'll be a guy.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so that's his hook.
Okay, that's not bad.
So Barry Allen goes back in time, stops Thawne from killing his mom,
Okay.
but as a result, creates an alternate timeline in which the Flash never existed.
Right.
Now, this alternate timeline had some ramifications. Some of them being the rocket that landed from Krypton in Kansas. Didn't land in Kansas. It landed in Metropolis, and it had the effect of an H-bomb in the middle of the city, and it wound up killing a whole bunch of
Why?
people.
Why would
It didn't have the
land
effect of an
somewhere else?
H-bomb
Because
in
it was
Kansas.
fucked up. Because it needs to be dark and gritty and crazy. That's why.
Well, what does that have to do with Flash?
The Flash never
Flash-
changed anything
the-
with where
No,
Superman landed.
but the Flash did go back in time and never became the Flash.
But how-
And his going through time created a ripple effect that influenced...
Altered the position of the Earth?
That altered the position of things and stuff. So, for example...
That is really shoddy.
Yeah, I know, but it's supposed to be a throwaway fun Flash story.
I see.
It's just supposed to show you this crazy dark future where Joe Chill, this common petty criminal, goes up to this wealthy family, Thomas and Martha Wayne and their son Bruce, and he says, "Give me your money," and then he winds up shooting Bruce instead.
Oh.
And so Thomas murders Joe Chill,
Oh.
and Martha Wayne goes crazy and cuts her face open to be a smile and becomes the Joker, and Thomas Wayne becomes Batman.
What? Holy shit!
Yeah, coolest thing to come out of that is the Batman effect.
Wow.
But as a result, Thomas Wayne has no problem killing people. He's a darker Batman. So Thomas Wayne controls Gotham from his, casino. Just because his mom was saved doesn't mean that Joe Chill just decided to shoot Bruce instead of Thomas and Martha. It's just that the time wave affected different instances.
One, that's really dumb, and I know that you recognize that. Because time is an actual... It's not a physical wave.
No.
It doesn't do that. So, what happens to the Flash after he saves his mom?
After
Does
he
he
saves
go
his
back
mom-
to his present time?
Yes.
How?
Well, he comes back.
Well, it's like in Back to the Future 2, when they...
He just runs back. He's like, I saved my mom. Great. Now I'll go back to the present.
But he goes,
That's
but
impossible,
the
'cause
timeline's
the
been
second he
skewed into
saved-
an alternate tangent.
Because the second he saves his mom,
Yeah.
he should lose his powers.
Yeah, he shouldn't
If this is all cyclical, then the second he saves his mom, he should not be able to run fast enough to go back in time. He should be stuck there immediately.
Agreed.
Well, maybe
It's
he
not
doesn't
happening.
run forward in time. Maybe he just stays, he just walks off, and then, himself...
Yeah, he gets pushed into the present.
No.
It doesn't.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't know. But you know what's funny? They
Maybe
don't
there's
even
a
friggin'
delay.
do it. Yeah.
There's a delay. He still has... his
There
powers
actually
for a
is
few
kind of a
days.
delay.
Like when Marty's getting erased, and it takes him a while for his hand to get erased.
Yeah, and everybody likes that, so that seems like a plausible explanation. Also, he saves her, but maybe he doesn't go all the way through. Maybe he doesn't leave that vortex from the cosmic treadmill. Maybe
he's
he
surrounded by
he
the
stops
time.
Thawne and then goes back in, so he's still in the time stream, so he can just
Yeah.
travel back, and then when he gets there, because by the way, as he's going through this alternate timeline present, his memories are starting to change and realign with the current timeline. So he remembers that he's the Flash, he remembers that Bruce Wayne's Batman and all this other stuff, and Superman's the greatest superhero ever, but it's starting to go away.
Right.
So he knows that, in effect, he's running out of time.
It's kind of like Swiss cheese.
Yeah, it's very Quantum Leap. But, like, no, in effect,
No, he's running out of time to get things the way that they should be.
to fix time.
I see.
Yeah.
But he can't actually change anything because he no longer is super fast.
Right.
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 So they gotta fix that,
So they gotta
right?
fix that, too.
They gotta give him his
So he's
feedback.
like, okay, Superman, nobody's heard of him. There's no Green Lanterns here.
Wait, Superman may not have been heard of, but Clark Kent or the baby fucking
Kal-El landed in Metropolis and killed countless people. What do you think happened next?
They locked him up?
The government showed up, picked up the baby, and stuck him in a bunker that had no access to sunlight.
Because it's like, well, you can't kill him.
So he looks all weak.
Emaciated and weak. He's Superman, but he's never dealt with people, and he's never seen the sun.
Do they know that he gets his powers from the sun?
No, they just put him there.
They just put him there. Ah.
I think, actually, they used the baby rocket and extrapolated information from there, so they probably did, because as I noticed in the cell, it has red sunlight in it to inhibit his powers, or basically create an environment that's very reminiscent of Krypton.
Right.
I really hope when he gets out of that cell, he's still emaciated.
Oh, yeah,
But
he
the
is.
rest
Oh,
of
he
the
doesn't
book-
grow big or anything. No.
Oh, awesome.
No.
Okay.
No, basically, Flash is like, okay, I need to find, like, Batman, because Batman's smart and he'll know what to do. I'll ask Bruce what to do. So he goes to Gotham, he just goes to Wayne Manor, and Wayne Manor is a wreck. It doesn't look like people have attacked it, it more looks like nobody's dealt with it.
And one of the bags is just like, hi, I'm looking for Bruce, and everyone's like,
Oh, nobody's there. Like, nobody's there, it's empty. And then he goes to the Batcave, and it's still the Batcave. All Batman stuff is there, in as much as there is a Batsuit, and a picture of his parents, or a picture of his wife and kid, the bullet that killed Bruce, and a bottle of whiskey. Like, that's the Batcave.
Right.
No Bat computer, no Batmobile, just booze, the thing that killed his children, and some weapons.
Right, because he's not like a super genius.
No, he's a doctor, so he has a working knowledge of people, but he doesn't have the keen mind. He didn't hone his skills and become the world's greatest detective in
so
martial
why the
arts.
fuck did he become Batman then?
He had another omen that came to him, but it was like to avenge, like just like Bruce
Avenge his son.
avenged his
Okay.
son, yeah. And
Alright.
he became a bat. So, you know.
But he's not trained.
No. I mean, like, he's trained, and he's like a brutal fighter. He's like an MMA fighter now. Like, he just
You
beats
like that
people.
MMA shit, right?
Right? What happened was, Thawne was too afraid to see what would happen. It removed Thawne from the time stream. Or it removed him from... It untethered him from the time stream. So he has his powers, and he can fuck with Flash because it doesn't matter anymore. Like, he exists. He's
That's
like, I won't be erased because I live here. Like,
That's
He lives
incredibly
outside
stupid.
of time.
what?
He lives outside of time. He's
lives
like a
outside of time.
lord.
Also
Yeah.
incredibly stupid.
What do you want?
If something's gonna affect the Flash because he suddenly lost his powers,
Yeah.
and Flash was the person that inspired this guy
Yes.
to become the Reverse Flash, then there is no way for the Flash to not exist, that this guy still exists.
I think the
Well, he
explanation
got
is
separated
he came
from
from the future. Like, he didn't
the
exist in the...
Flash came from the future.
Well, maybe he was wrong all along, thinking that if he killed Flash, he would.
I think that's it.
If he killed Flash, he creates like an alternate timeline.
Right.
That's like totally separate from his. So, like, it doesn't actually.
But if he kills him,
cease to
then he
exist.
still doesn't get inspired to become Reverse
But
Flash.
he
that's a
still
separate
exists.
timeline.
That's that just creates another timeline.
He could
I'm
have
still here.
He could have just been wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
That would happen.
The Flash still exists. That's just the thing. Either Flash
but
comes back to his
but-
present time
but
with
Flash
his powers.
went back himself.
Yes.
And did it. So like it affects him. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Because he used the cosmic treadmill.
Yeah.
I'm very angry at this
Whereas the other
story.
guy used something else.
Used... The other twist is Cyborg, from the JLA now in the New 52, is suddenly the world's greatest superhero.
Oh.
And he works for the government, and he's basically like Dark Knight Returns Superman. Only he's more of like a bastion of hope, and he's an optimist
Okay.
and all this shit. Now, the other thing that I should point out is there's also a international world war going on.
Okay.
The war is between Themyscira, the island of the Amazons, and Atlantis. Between
What?
Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Because the idea was the Themyscirians and the Atlanteans were going to come to an alliance. And so Aquaman and Wonder Woman banged. But that really didn't sit well with
Aquaman's
Aquaman's
wife.
wife. And Wonder Woman, who lived in a really twisted version of reality, was a warrior woman. And she's like, well, now that he's banged me, clearly I am his intended. So I'll just lop your head off, Mara, and I am now in charge. And we'll bridge our kingdoms together. And Aquaman's like, you murdered my wife. Prepare for war. And the Themyscirians and the Atlanteans have been at war for years. And humanity, or man's world, is caught in the middle. Oh. So the world itself is thrown into chaos because of these two, elemental lands fighting each other with their obscene powers and technology.
And see what happens, what could have been saved with just a cold shower?
Right? Except technically Aquaman's always in a cold shower because he's in the ocean.
If only Wonder Woman could have controlled her shit.
Yes, if only she could have just been like, maybe I won't bang him, or maybe I won't murder his wife.
Right.
But at the same time,
it seems like, well, it's this weird twisted thing where you banged me.
Yeah.
And I assume that we're going to be together now. So I lopped off your wife's head because I'm hurt.
Right.
I imagine he'd be like, well, I guess this is happening.
Right. But he wasn't. He's like,
that's insane.
Instead, he's like,
that's insane. You don't murder.
You don't murder my wife just because I slept with you.
You ask him to leave her.
Right. But she's like, no, we're warriors. I killed her in battle, so therefore, you are now my husband.
Right.
And it didn't work out that way.
It didn't work. That's all he wanted.
No.
It's his fault too.
Oh, it's both their faults. But
he didn't murder anyone.
Anyway, Barry Allen runs into Tom Wayne, but he doesn't know he's just like, Bruce, what the hell's the matter with you?
Right.
And he's like, Bruce, oh, and he just beats the shit out of Barry and breaks some bones
for mentioning the name of his son.
Yeah, and for pervert, he's like, who are you? You broke into my house. You know who I am, and you're bandying about my dead son's name. So anyway, he's like, okay, listen, I'll show you on the Flash, and he opens his ring, and Reverse Flash's costume dumps out of it.
What?
As if to say, Reverse Flash put it there to remind Barry, because Barry doesn't remember what happened. I told you that Barry Allen went back in time to save his mom.
Right.
But Barry Allen doesn't remember going back in time and saving his mom. He just remembers waking up one day and his mom being alive and all that being wrong.
But he still remembers all the superheroes that should be there.
Yes, he remembers the time he came from. He just doesn't remember...
He remembers some vague things, like there is a Superman.
No, he remembers specifics. He just doesn't remember why he went... how he's in this time. He's a block, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's exactly as explained as you probably expect, which is to say it is not.
It's not.
Yeah. There's a block, and he doesn't really know what's going on. So he goes to Batman, Tom Wayne, and the Reverse Flash. And he's like, oh, Reverse Flash must have gone back in time and changed something, and that's what's happening. Reverse Flash went back in time, changed some event in the past, and it fucked everything up.
Okay.
So
he's blaming Reverse Flash.
So I gotta stop him. But in order for me to do that, I have to be the Flash. So we need to recreate the circumstances that made me into the Flash, which is to say, I need to be struck by lightning.
And covered in chemicals at the time.
Yeah. So Batman's like, no.
That's insane.
That's a crazy thing to do.
Does he know the exact chemicals to bathe himself?
Yeah.
He's just like, this is gross.
No, he does.
Okay.
So they get the chemicals.
That would also be really funny.
They put
Let's try sodium chloride.
No, it happened.
And this other stuff.
It was kind of vague.
Salt?
I'll just put a bunch of stuff.
Look, there were beakers and colors. I don't know.
So,
does it actually work?
No, he gets struck by lightning and he gets severely burned. And he's gonna die. And he's like,
it
didn't work.
By lightning, or they put him in an electric chair?
They put him in an electric chair. That's right. They put him in an electric chair, and then they blast him with light. And he's like, and it doesn't work. So they bring him up to the roof, and he gets struck by lightning.
Oh, okay.
And then he's the Flash.
Oh, okay. That's amazing.
So
it had to be 1.21 gigawatts.
Right. Now the fact that, and because he's the Flash, he can heal fast as well.
Oh, okay.
Just because he's the Flash,
he fixes all the burns.
So so he heals really fast, and then
but he needs to eat a buffet.
Yeah, and then he makes a new Flash costume really fast because he's the Flash. And he's like, yeah, there.
He can make costumes. He's a seamster.
Yeah. Well, he's been the Flash for a long time.
Yeah, I guess
that up.
He's had to take care of his own stuff, but he also learns really fast.
What does he make it out of? What material is it that it can fit in a ring?
So the Flash is back in action, and he and Batman team up, and Batman's like, look, if you wanna save the world, or whatever, we need other people. And
why doesn't he just run really fast and go back in time?
Because he can't. He doesn't have the cosmic treadmill.
How does he not have it? He's the Flash now.
He can't.
Because reason.
Yeah, because he can't. You can't do it.
Ah!
So anyway,
I'm sure there's some reason.
so they call Cyborg and they tell, and Batman's like, oh yeah, and by the way, like there's this. Oh, and Barry's like, we need Superman. That'll solve everything.
Right.
So they convince Cyborg, who's been trying to rally any superheroes he can, to join his cause and then fight Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Both of them at the same time.
At the same time.
Okay.
Batman won't join them because he knows that's a stupid idea. He's like, you'll all die. No.
Right.
So they call Cyborg. Batman's like, hey Cyborg, I want to join your team now. And Cyborg's like, oh yay! And he and a bunch of lame characters that who gives a shit about show up. So then they're like, hey listen, we're not going to go fight Aquaman and Wonder Woman. We're going to go break out this alien that the United States captured like 20 years ago.
It's in Area 51?
Yeah, more or less, but it's not. It's in like Gotham or something. It's
Area
nearby.
52.
So they go there, they break Superman out.
That's why they call it the New 52.
Because it was Area 52.
Oh my god, it's all connected.
See,
Illuminati.
they break out Superman. Superman sees the sun for the first time, and he's like, peace. And he leaves. He's not Superman. He wasn't raised by the Kens. He doesn't know anything about
He was
right
kept
now.
in prison his whole life. So
He's been in
like,
prison. He's like,
I got
"Why?
out later.
And I can fly? Fuck off. And Barry's like, you don't understand how fucked we are. we have not Batman and Cyborg and the
No
Flash.
Superman.
It just so happens that the last battle of the big war between Atlantis and Themyscira
Is about to
is
happen.
about to happen.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
and Reverse Flash shows up and he's like, "Hey Barry," like,
Oh.
I was, and then he's like, "Oh, your memory was blocked by such and such." So he jogs his memory physically
punching him?
by driving his hand into his brain at a trillion, Google second, like.
So like, it's vibrating so that it's incorporeal, but it's still affecting
Yep,
things in his
and
brain.
it like resets his brain so that he remembers that actually,
What? It fucking like removes a clot or something?
yeah, or something.
Or it's just like, it's the vibrations of the time force and you're
Uh-huh.
remembering.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So they have a big fight where he's basically like, "Oh no, like it's actually all my fault. Like I'm the reason why everything's fucked up. I'm sorry,
Right.
everybody."
I'm the asshole.
Exactly.
Reverse Flash is probably loving this.
Yeah, he is having a great time. He's like,
Like, I love this reality.
yeah, he
You're
does.
miserable.
And then Batman stabs him through the heart with a sword.
Uh,
And then some magic people kill Batman. Now another point that I should
What?
point out: some magic characters show up and they kill Batman.
magic characters?
Yeah, well, there's still magic in this
This
universe.
is a witch. There's a witch with a green witch hat.
Yep.
Black
Who are
Manta.
these guys?
Who are these guys?
But no.
This is like a
I recognize
ragtag.
him. I've seen him before.
That's Grifter, who's from Image Comics.
Who is apparently normal in this.
Well, Grifter, in this reality, Grifter just is in the DC universe now. Like, because of Flashpoint,
Did
because
they buy him? I don't
DC
understand.
bought Wildstorm, which had Gen 13 and Wildcats and all these other
Is that
characters.
what some of these other characters are too?
No, some of those characters are just magic characters. Like, that's the Demon Etrigan, who's always... he's, like, been around since Arthurian times. And
The second you told me that Superman left, I was like, yay, this is starting
It's
to be
cool.
fun now.
Yeah.
And it's ruined.
yeah. At this point, Superman shows up.
Oh.
Because he's like, because there's something in him. It's not that he knows, but it's that, like, there is something ingrained in Superman that makes him a good person.
Okay.
So Superman shows
Really?
up and knocks the shit out of Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
Yay.
And then Batman, right before he dies, is like, you need to go back in time and fix this. And he's like, I can't run that fast. I don't have the cosmic treadmill. And he's like, you can do it. I believe in you. Like, so he does.
So he just runs a little bit faster.
That's every Flash story. So anyway, Flash runs a little bit faster. When Barry Allen becomes the Flash again in this shitty timeline, in the Flashpoint universe, he convinces Thomas Wayne that he's legit, and there's another universe where he and Martha die, but Bruce makes it. And so as a result, Tom writes a letter to Bruce, and he gives it to Barry.
Oh.
So Barry takes it with him when he goes through the time stream.
Oh, that's cool.
He runs into his mom. Like, he actually overshoots it before Thawne shows up to kill her.
Oh.
And he's like, Mom,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but you have to die or the world will die. Like, this asshole's gonna come, he's gonna kill you. And I'm sorry, but, like, you have to die. Should I let that happen?
And
she's
she
like,
says yes.
She says, yes, of course. Like,
You know what would be fantastic? She's like, no!
no, I don't
You
want to die.
save me!
Why don't you grab me and just take me to the future? But no. He actually winds up stopping himself from getting there. Like, he goes like, no, you can't. Like, he runs so fast, he catches up with himself on the treadmill, and he's like, get off! And he throws him into the present, and he takes his place.
So he ran fast enough to actually make it to the cosmic treadmill.
Yep.
Which he didn't need because he was running fast enough. He was already running faster than the cosmic treadmill.
Right, but now he doesn't have to work as hard.
Right. And he got there in time to stop the other
him from saving his mom. And this is how it gets really stupid, because now that it's shoehorning in...
This is where it gets
really This is where it gets stupid, because...
I was worried it might have been a little stupid before. I'm really glad this is the penultimate point.
Well, before all he did was stop his mom from being killed and then let it happen again. So technically, everything should happen the way it did before.
Right.
Instead, the New 52 happened. And as a result, all these different multiverse-type things merged together in a kind of unclear way, because DC Editorial didn't really make the plan yet.
Yeah, there's literally a page here where he's running through time, and he says he has to get back to the time stream, and he says he sees 3 timelines.
Yep.
And they show you all these different images that I guess are supposed to be the 3 timelines.
Yeah, you've got the DC universe that we know today. We've got the Wildstorm universe, which has Wildcats and Gen 13.
Oh.
You've got the Vertigo line, which had like Constantine and Swamp Thing and stuff.
So this is how they are saying they're going to merge the 3 properties?
Yes.
Except only one of them is really important.
And then those all cascade into each other and create one prime timeline.
Yes.
New 52.
And that's the New 52.
It's because Superman is an alien, and he was in
Area 52,
and that's why it's called that.
Right. No. So they also released 52 brand new titles.
Oh, okay.
They released 52 new titles?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they redid Superman, and they redid Batman,
God.
and there's like 3 Batman books.
But they also like staffed it with like the worst creators ever, so like almost 2/3 of them were canceled.
Well, I have a serious question.
Yes.
About how this process. He sees this woman figure in time, and she says, because the history of heroes was shattered into 3 long ago, that's the 3 properties, splintered to weaken the world for their impending arrival.
Yes.
We must all stand together, the timelines must become one again, and then she merges the timelines with Barry.
Who is she?
And who's they? Who's their arrival of who? Has that happened yet, or is that still like an event that maybe that's going to happen in DC in New 52?
You know what? There's a book that we shit all over called Future's End, where they come from a dark future and come back.
No, that can't be the goal.
Because they're saying that there's a rumor that the Earth that we enjoyed before the New 52, the universe that like Final Crisis took place in, still exists in the multiverse. And like the Future's End shit is gonna somehow come into play and link the New 52 and that universe that we had before and put them together.
But it's so bad.
I know, it's so stupid. Well, all they need to do is have editorial direction, have a map, and they say, this happened, this didn't, here's who works on it, and then, when they look at the list, go, oh, that guy can't work on it, he sucks, he's bad at writing, and he doesn't care about continuity. Don't let him do that. We are DC. We can get anybody we want to do whatever we want to our universe. Let's make it make sense. They don't care about that. They don't do that. So, we have this. So Flashpoint was supposed to be just a throwaway Flash event.
Flashpoint, okay.
That was Flashpoint, and that was the New 52, okay? And the only cool part of this whole damn book, for me anyway, why we have the Batman masks on, is because at the end of it, he arrives at the Batcave to make sure everything's cool, because he knows, like, this is the benchmark, really. If Bruce Wayne's Batman, then everything's pretty much the same.
Okay.
He goes to the Batcave, and Bruce is there, he's working on shit, but his costume's different, because now it's the New 52 costume. And Flash's costume's different, too, because it's the New 52 costume. Yeah. And he doesn't remember that the New 52 is anything different from what he had before.
But he doesn't... Does he remember that he has a letter for him?
Yes. He remembers the shit that happened, but it's starting to fade. He's like, oh, the timeline's starting to fade away.
Right.
But I do have this, and he gives it to Bruce, and it's a letter from Thomas Wayne.
It's a blank piece of paper.
Yeah, it says, fuck you. Now, it says basically
this message for the past, but now it's erased.
What does it mean?
Of course it's erased! It says basically, like, when I lost you, I didn't believe in anything. But Barry Allen taught me, like, to believe in something. And, like, I love you.
But you should...
But wait,
You should be BFFs with...
Say that again, and now I'm Batman?
Barry.
So it'll be like it is in the
Okay, well then I have to be his dad. I don't have
where's your...
I don't have a
Look,
Flashpoint Batman
Here's
costume.
old man.
All right, well, that'll be bad.
Yeah, that's the closest we have.
All right, son.
Yeah, Dad.
When you died, I lost everything, but I have a glimmer of hope thanks to Barry Allen.
What do you mean when I died? I'm not dead.
No, but in my timeline, you died and I survived.
Oh, that's really fucked up.
I know, and your mom became the Joker.
What?
Yeah, it's totally boned.
Why would she become the Joker? That doesn't even make sense.
Losing your child makes you go fucking crazy, apparently.
Just like it makes you go Joker crazy?
Evidently.
Did she fall in a vat of acid or some shit too?
No, she cuts her fucking face. It's fucked up and crazy. Needless to say, I've divorced her. But she's also my greatest enemy. Oh, hey, Batman, what are you doing here?
Interesting. Now, this is a very strange, groovy thing that you guys are doing right here.
Oh, no. It's Batman 1966.
Get out of here, Batman 1966.
Nobody likes you. People pretend to like you, but they don't really like you. If you had stuck around longer, you would have ruined everything.
Hang on. I have my spray right here. Bat spray.